Hello, welcome back. Felix here tonight on Storm Clearer. I have to record this now because the last video I did has changed. The forecast has just gone crazy changed, and the video is meant to be released at 10. And I've just realised that the forecast has gone well off. So we're now gonna have to redo it. Not really for this storm, but the next storm. So yeah. Now, we're not 9 o'clock, we are towards 11. Right, here we are. This should be Storm Ashley, but they still haven't named it yet. Which, to be honest, is not very good of them. And this is Hurricane... No, it's not Hurricane Isaac. We've got Joyce come in, we've got Isaac. I think that's Isaac. And then so that's Helene. And then we've got a lot of hurricanes, to be fair. We've got Crafon. That's quite a powerful one. Probably Cat 1, Cat 2. But we're looking at this storm right here. I would like to think it get named Storm Ashley. Winds do reach 80 miles an hour in the system. I can't remember the exact name of the islands, but I want to say the Isle of Dogs. But we've got the Isle of Man, we've got the Isle of Wight, we've got the Isle of Dogs, and you've got one there, you've got one there, and you've got one there, and I can't remember what they're called. But this island off the Cornish coast will have winds around 80 miles an hour. So you see at the moment, this system at this point wasn't even meant to reach, it was meant to reach like 81, but we just saw 84, 85, so it's still obviously intensifying. Probably see 86 in there. Yeah, 86 miles an hour. We seem to be getting to like the peak. So it seems like at the moment this storm will peak at around 86 miles an hour out at sea. The Republic of Ireland will experience some strong winds. I will look at Met Irene in a second. So the Met Irene has got weather warnings in force at the time of recording to Sunday and Monday. These warnings are... I think they got some amber warnings issued. They got a small craft warning, and they have got amber weather warnings issued. Just letting it load. That warning is for rain. 2 amber rain warnings, 4 amber rain warnings in force. And they got a yellow rain and wind, another yellow rain and wind, another yellow rain and wind. A small craft for 6 winds, yellow gale warning, another yellow gale warning. So quite a lot of weather warnings issued from the Met Irene. As you can see, just waiting for the last day to load. So as that storm, you can see as the storm comes around, and so the warnings shift. But we'll be looking at Ventusky because this gives in a much clearer picture. We probably will look at the jet stream forecast as well, but we'll be issuing yellow wind warnings for basically this portion of the Republic of Ireland. So basically this area here, and everything around here as well. And that is a yellow wind warning from, actually we'll go from 5 AM. From 5 AM Sunday the 29th of September 2024. We will then upgrade to an amber wind warning. Is it necessary? Got anything of extreme elevation will be under an amber wind warning in the Republic of Ireland, but this is quite early, so we might be alright. We might not need to issue ambers for that, but we will look at the mountain forecast. But we will be issuing amber wind warnings for mainland UK from, just waiting for, so we are, the winds reach 60. We'll issue it from 1 p.m. Still Sunday, and we'll issue an amber wind warning for this region right here for winds of up to 70 miles an hour. 70 will be more so down here, potentially up here and along here. Widely along coastal areas, high elevated areas and exposed areas, 60 miles an hour, potentially 65, 75 is a potential for here, and 80 is a potential for whichever islands out here. I can't actually remember the name of that, sorry. 50 to 55 miles an hour is wide, quite widely. There's a lot of festivals and circuses and fun fairs going on, and there's a lot of leaves on the trees. The ground's saturated, there's a lot of rain. The time of day, it's a relatively unique wind direction as a southeasterly wind direction. The time of day is crucial, it's the first big-ish storm for the year. Trees have been weakened due to some leaves being taken off. Weaker stuff is now exposed to the wind rather than being sheltered by leaves. We've also got catastrophic flooding, which has weakened the soil and saturated it, so there's more landslides and also more trees coming down. Some recent strong winds have weakened some stuff. I've seen a lot of there's been a lot of helicopters out recently testing the pylons and the telephone posts, obviously for the winds. We've also had storm management teams out, the drains being cleared and trees being cut down, so there's clearly a good effort being made, because probably from the failures of Kian, which was the biggest failure since Eunice in this area. And they've been doing a lot of work, and they've been tying down building materials. They've been putting up massive concrete blocks alongside fencing. There's actually a wall that's starting to collapse in the town centre. They've because of the amount of water in the ground, they've put concrete blocks in front of all of the walls in that area, and they've put up put a lot of sandbags on the roadwork. So they're clearly taking measures to try and reduce the impact. In Storm Ciarán, it cost our economy alone £500 million just in council funding. Apparently, there was a major landslide just up the road from me, which took out half of the road. There was so much wind damage. School roofs were blown off, council buildings were blown away, literally collapsed, and there was so much flooding. Roads were washed away. It was really bad, and across that, I think the storm cost the UK economy, I think it was around £10 billion, it might have been. And then we had Isha a month later, very damaging, very costly for the UK economy. But anyway, the amber wind warning, so we're looking at Land's End in the most depth because they got the strongest winds. You see 65 miles an hour here, that could potentially reach 70 miles an hour, and then it spreads along both north and south of the southwest, and then it starts to reach these areas. It's not meant to be too bad, but then after that band passes through, I was talking about it in a separate video, and then we get a second band come through. This potentially could come over Devon and Cornwall, bringing winds of up to 75 miles an hour, which is what I've been talking about. If this band does, it was down here this morning, so if it continues at the same rate, it will be around here, which means that 75 mile an hour winds could occur inland. Obviously, it will weaken a little bit as it goes over land, so we could see it again around 60 miles an hour, which is why I'm still having the amber weather warning in force. However, from 6 p.m, we issue, from about midday, we expand the yellow wind warning to this area here. And then from around 3 p.m, we expand the amber warning to this area here, and then at 6 p.m. we have the yellow wind warning shrink down to this area here, with the amber warning in this area and this area, potentially covering this area too. By 9 p.m, this is when the next band of strong winds is starting to come in, and we are now expanding this yellow wind warning right up in here and across the coast of the English Channel, basically covering this entire area here. We are not going to cover France. And then as the next band passes through, the amber weather warning will end around 3 a.m. Monday. A yellow warning is still in force for this area here. So basically Devon, Cornwall, and then just the southern coastline of the English Channel. Potentially looking at a yellow for the coastline of Liverpool area, just depending on how that system moves. And that yellow weather warning will stay in force until about midday Monday, and then that weather warning will end, and very quickly the system then starts to re-intensify. It gets stuck, and then you can see it really start to intensify again, and then we have to issue at around 9 a.m. Tuesday a yellow wind warning for this area here, for winds up to 50 miles an hour from the system starting to come back. And you can see here 56 miles an hour, but it's not so up to 60 miles an hour winds, sorry, and it's not quite enough to issue an amber, and those winds will slowly start to die off, and then the yellow wind warning will end around 6 a.m. Wednesday, and then we are just back to a very unsettled system, a very odd jet stream. It's going, also not jet stream, wind direction, easterly wind direction, bringing very cold weather. And then you can see the next storm is starting to form, and that storm is right here. We've also got this one, I'm pretty sure that is Hurricane Isaac right there. I might be wrong though. And this system is going to bring some very strong winds to Iceland, and very quickly get through. Some very strong winds around Ireland, so definitely some weather warnings will be issued there. That's for Friday. Oh, it does this every now and again. So definitely some weather warnings will happen. Oh, don't be a little... I'm getting very annoyed for this thing. So with the strong winds here, I'm going to really get annoyed with this thing in a second. This is why I hate this website, but it's a pain in the backside. Right, screw you. My apologies. We'll just do the rain warnings instead, because I can't be arsed with this thing. It's a waste of my life. Go every hour. That's just my little anger towards this thing. Yellow rain warning for, I think it is this area. We'll go from, what are we looking? Yellow rain warning from about 3 a.m. Sunday, and then we'll issue yellow rain warning from about midday Sunday for this area here, and then the yellow rain warning at around 9 p.m. Sunday is then just for this area, amber rain warning, sorry, for this area right here, and also this area right here. At midnight going into Monday, the amber warning is still in force, but this amber ends, and then it's still a yellow rain warning for this area here. At 3 a.m. we have a new yellow rain warning there and here, and the other rain warnings end. At 5 a.m. we update it and issue yellow rain and expand yellow rain warning to here, and shift the yellow rain warning across here. And then at 6 a.m. Monday we have the yellow rain warning in this area here because of the recent catastrophic rainfall. That is going to be in force until 3 p.m. Monday. And that is the end of that system rain-wise. It's nothing too severe. Try the wind gust again. So what I was trying to say is we've got some very strong winds in this area here. We've got this very strong hurricane because the majority of hurricanes are going this way, when people and the map forecasters said it would be going this way. We've got a strong hurricane there as well. But this is a major hurricane. Winds are up to 150 miles an hour. Now, if this was to go towards Florida, we would be seeing a hurricane of around 250 miles an hour. But it's not meant to. But it's still a major hurricane at the moment. Well, it would be if it was actually named, but then it starts to, it's still increasing at the moment. Still got winds of around 150 miles an hour, and we've now got this system. Winds will be around 40 to 50 miles an hour in this system, so potentially from around Thursday the 3rd of October we could have some yellow wind and rain warnings in force for that system. Because of this stubborn high pressure system, this hurricane should go up here, which is a pain because I don't want it to go that way. But it might also come towards the UK, which it seems to be doing so. A very deep system, you can see 941, and it's still at 100 miles an hour. So it's a very severe storm, and then it just dies out. You know, a very deep area of low pressure. This is what I've been saying, and all these other forecasters have been saying the other thing. All they're saying is storms will be going this way, and the odd few will go that way. But the majority of storms are going this way, and if that high pressure wasn't there, we would have a 120 mile an hour hurricane barreling towards the UK. The precipitation in that hurricane was absolutely insane, or will be absolutely insane. It's not actually developed yet. We'll be seeing potentially up to 100 millimeters of rain, so over 100 millimeters of rain in a few hours. So that's double the average month's rainfall in a couple of hours. So a very severe hurricane. Not a great deal of thunderstorms within. Wind shear is probably quite low. Yeah, quite low, which has allowed that system to develop. And what I'm trying to say is this is what will be happening over the storm season. If that high wasn't there, we would have a 130, 120 mile an hour hurricane coming to the UK. This hurricane, because of how far south it is, should go off towards, well, the forecast is a bit weird there, isn't it? There's clearly something not right, but there's clearly if another major hurricane, major hurricane heading towards areas just obliterated by Hurricane Helene, and you can see this hurricane will be having winds of about 110, potentially up to 120, about 120 mile an hour. So another very powerful hurricane heading up towards areas which have just been recently obliterated by Hurricane Helene. It's a bit further east, but you know what the hurricanes are doing. This is a massive hurricane. If it was actually named, this is a beast. This would be Category 5, like catastrophic hurricane, and it's coming towards the UK. And what I'm trying to say is this will be happening all autumn, because you still got the effects of El Nino pushing storms back out into the Atlantic. They're building from La Nina down here, low wind shear, they're allowed to develop. Once we go further into autumn and winter, these high pressure systems will go southeast or far north. The jet stream will come down here. These hurricanes will be supercharged across the jet stream and potentially become 160, 170 mile an hour storms, which is what I think will be happening over autumn. This is what I've been saying, but the other forecasters are bigger than me, and I don't have a say, and yeah. This is what I've been trying to say, but just look at the size difference. That is a massive hurricane. That is a beast. You know, the wind speeds in this thing are going to be up to 150, 160 miles an hour. And if this storm came October, when there's still leaves on the trees, the ground's saturated, the high pressure systems have shifted, the jet stream's down here, it crosses the jet stream, hits around about, it goes up around here, you know, southwest, battered by the rain, and then the 170, 180 mile an hour winds. If that hurricane was like, if this hurricane was like a couple weeks later, that would be probably the worst storm in UK history. So, yeah. A historical moment. So actually this storm has actually got winds of 155 miles an hour. 156 miles an hour. 161 miles an hour. I will keep an eye on it, and I'll be giving regular updates on its progression. But this hurricane, like I said, we're talking about a week in advance to this point. So it's probably about a week and a half from potentially hitting UK. But even if it hits at this stage at 100 miles an hour, that's still a massive storm. You know, that will still cause devastation. You know, the rain is still like a month's average rainfall, like 3 hours. So it's gonna be a devastating storm. And this high pressure, it was over here like a week ago. So if it carries on shifting, and if this high pressure, you see where it was here, and in a couple of days it shifted here, if that shifts a little quicker, that system, rather than it staying out here, it will track across towards the UK, because that is where the jet stream is positioned, or forecast to be positioned. So yeah, that is a major storm, and Isaac is also one for cause for concern, because the original track was to about here, then it went up there, and now it's on its way to the UK as well. It should die out before it reaches the UK, but the forecast, as you're about to see, shows it gets stuck for some reason. I'm not sure why, and then kind of dies out. Not sure why it gets stuck, because we've got high pressure here, we've kind of got a ridge of high pressure. This system gets stuck, which could potentially, we've just got a line, low, 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 high, high, high. I'd say our high pressure in there. So it's all in a line stuck. So that's the reason why, to be fair, it ain't moving. But this could change in the next couple of days. If the jet stream doesn't do this, it could go like this, and then these storms be allowed to track, and then that hurricane, which is currently named as Hurricane Isaac, will make landfall in the UK like this storm did, and all these other low pressure systems will follow suit. And I'm pretty sure Helene is part of that system there. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. It does have an eye, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it does have an eye. Oh, that's maxed out on the... There we are. That's the eye. Kind of see less cloud. That's a more good picture of where the eye would be. You can see 30-mile-an-hour winds, so it does have an eye. And it's completely wrapped in 70-mile-an-hour winds. But at the moment, it is not expected to come to the UK. But this is what every hurricane is doing. It's going up here. Because we had quite a cold summer, which is kind of meant the storms aren't going to intensify as bad. It's the reason why they're dying out up here. But technically, the oceans are still warming at the moment until about October. And also, the jet stream isn't as active yet. And the thunderstorms are still... So the influence... This is only going to get stronger. And as the jet stream starts to go from here to here, as these storms reach about here and start to die off, they won't anymore, because they'll get carried by the jet stream, cross the jet stream towards the UK, spiral, and they won't lose the strength. They'll actually build strength. So, for example, as we see with this major hurricane right here, if this happens in a couple of weeks again, which it probably will do, as the jet stream's about here, it will cross the jet stream about here, and then make its way over to the UK. And we're going to get a lot of these. I'm forecasting a lot of red weather warnings definitely for this year. The amount of this doesn't agree, but I personally think it's going to be a heavy red weather warning year. High pressure definitely here. If that shifts any quicker, which it currently is, shifting quicker than it should be, that system will make its way to the UK, and that is looking to be about a week, just over, approaching a week and a half away from making landfall if it does. So this hurricane is a major hurricane. If this low pressure system gets stuck, that system will then get pulled in towards the UK. You see, we've got two small hurricanes. This is definitely the biggest hurricane in the hurricane season, by a long way. This is a major hurricane. Well, I keep saying hurricane. It's not actually named yet, but it could very well be. But like I said, this high pressure system needs to shift a lot quicker than it is. It shifts quick. I'll give it that. It shifts quick. But what I need, well, what could potentially happen, and what's forecast to happen on some forecasting sites, is it will shift this way rather than going like up here. And if that happens, that system will just go boom, 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 boom. Strongest winds, heaviest rain technically will hit this area, followed by the strongest winds, so basically obliterating the southwest, Wales, Southern Republic of Ireland. But yeah, that's what the current forecast is. But we are talking a week and a half away. It will change. This system, for all I know, could very well come to the UK, or it could go up to Iceland, or it could just go to Florida. That's unlikely, because it's unlikely to make a dramatic change from this to that. It's highly unlikely, but it is possible for it, rather than it going to about here, it could very well go there or there. So it's all eyes on this high pressure and this low pressure, and this high pressure and that low pressure.